Hello, everyone. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
And welcome to tonight's episode of Plight Princes. Several campaigns just went through my head. Blood and Sand, SAT.
To go through the checklist.
No, yes. So, hello and welcome. We've taken time. People had things with college, things with their normal lives, and now we're back into our dunda.
We had Christmas. Did everybody have a nice Christmas? It's February.
Merry
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy Christmas.
Black Hitler returns and kills you all. So, where last we left off, our party had arrived in the village of Phandalin, illusory to appear more run down than it actually is, and more like ruins of its previous self. Appeared like just a portion of the woods. Once you stepped through that barrier, you then saw the village itself. They encountered the simulacrum of one of the defenders of Faerun, Varys Valorin, and after discussions, conversations, and interactions, it was revealed that the Eladrin Posey, who was following along with the party, was in fact a changeling. A very tense moment occurred in which the party paladin and several other individuals interfered, interjected, and de-escalated the situation. And then conversation was had. Eventually, Varys, with the slight regret that his owner might have had, decided to give out a few well wishes to the party, a few items and a few other small things, as well as giving information to the party as to potential locations for a creche for Gith and other such things. Whilst this was happening, the rest of the party went to the tavern to get smashed. Kika and Lo stayed behind in the manor, whilst Runara and Posey had a conversation between the moon and themselves, and then eventually just between themselves, and the moon was like, "Pay attention to me!" From there, the potential mischief and chatter brought about between Lo and Kika had an unexpected effect on the familiar of Lo, Puck, who began growing more in size, almost to a full humanoid height, having conversation, dancing about, and being giddy, and the potential scheming and mischief of causing antlers on individuals and the like, or donkey ears, or other such things. Whilst Puck walked those two off, potentially I believe towards the kitchen, which was Runara and it was Lo. This left Kika, I believe, going up to a private area.
I think we technically left off with us still being in the central room, but it was like just the two of us. I believe everybody has left, but the intent is probably that we're going to go upstairs.
So I
want to get on the roof.
It is just Kika and Poe. So then, my darlings, the floor is yours. Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Go. I think Poe has an awkward moment of just like looking around and being like, "Oh no," and so just is like, "I'm gonna go up."
Do you know where to go? You don't. You've never been here before.
Stop me before I even lie. I was about to, but you just stop. Okay. I can work it out. I just want to be outside and also up, so
well,
that's pretty easy to navigate.
I can definitely help with that, because if you didn't know, if it wasn't easy to guess, but a lot of we as a people are also a fan of being up and open, so our room is like there's a really big balcony, basically, that's it's kind of like a second room, but it's open, because half the time we like to sleep outside. Calling it a balcony is a bit generous because it's so big, but I guess a balcony is kind of what it is. You can just, part of the room is inside, and then you can walk out, and half the room is outside. So,
Okay.
I'm probably doing a very bad job explaining it.
I'm about to say the most Poe thing. Can I make an insight check on Kika?
By all means.
Because those natural
Because you don't
assumption on
know.
all things is that probably trying to do her harm.
Aww.
First roll of the year was an insight check.
First roll of the year, insight check.
I don't even know what I'm
Okay.
supposed to contest that with.
Do you?
Well, I mean, it's a case of, do you have any malicious intent? Are
No.
you trying to contest it?
No.
Then,
Tiniest voice.
then, Poe, that initial, always there thought in the back of your head, like a little knife that kind of just, not stabbing you, but like an awkward point in an armor that kind of just pinches at you when you're moving in a way. That little bit in the back of your mind, that muscle memory of weight. But she's just there, hands across, kind of like almost rubbing over
that I'm
them.
being silly and paranoid and stupid.
She's just trying to be
Okay,
helpful.
I mean, if you're okay with that, I don't want to intrude on anything. I know today's been a little.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'll just show you. You know, it's okay.
Sure, you know what? Yeah,
It's
show
just
me.
yeah, okay. So there's the you could tell, like, as she turns, there's like the almost instinctive of going to go fly up to the room, remembering that you can't fly, and being like, I shall walk. That's just sort of that's sort of instinctive.
I'm gonna do a very
little feather rustle,
Hang on
and then
just
just
one
the
second.
okay. She's nervous. I'm nervous. If you couldn't tell.
Okay, I'm not gonna. I'll follow you.
Gonna walk up the stairs.
It's close. This close. Yeah,
You
I'll go up with
eventually
you.
go up the stairways, up until you get out into the main, really easier way to describe is potentially landing pad. But Kika, would you like to describe it, or would you like me to?
I don't know. I could describe it if you want.
I have the notes there. It's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, these notes got sent, 4 months ago. So forgive me if I may miss.
I have them right there.
I may miss some stuff out myself, but I do have a mental image. So, yeah, it is almost like a half and half room, because it is essentially, when you first walk in through the door, it's like every room in this manor. It is large, but it is a family home. It feels like you've stepped in. It looks like there's kind of like a fireplace off to one side that's got just like little photo frames and little wooden carving knickknacks like on the shelf above it. There's several beds in the room. There is a double bed off to one side that has a couple of little bedside tables with books on. You can see there is a smaller singular bed which looks like it has a little children's mobile over the top of it, and then on the other side you can see what looks like an enormous dog bed, essentially, rather than a regular bed, just like a circular kind of nest of blankets and pillows. And then there's a couple of tables as well. A lot of them seem to be stacked with books. One of them has like a map off to the side and some little tools. And then the other half of the room is almost like greenhouse glass of windows and doors, and then on the other side it's just open air. And there's like outdoor furniture and outdoor covers, and there's like little bits that open up and you can see like awnings that look like they can be rolled back and stuff, which at the moment is all fairly sparse because there's been nobody there for a while. But Kika comes in and just kind of walks straight ahead. She's got that comfortable air of she is very familiar with this room.
Opposite reaction. vastly opposite reaction from Poe, which is very, very tentative, like hand, like doing that thing where you put your hands like in your pockets because you feel like you shouldn't touch anything. It's just trying to be very small in this space and follows you.
Yeah, so Kika goes over to the glass doors and undoes a latch and sort of goes out. She opens them wide and just sort of like, and you can hear her sort of like muttering to herself in a way where she's like, maybe as a good host, okay, and she goes over and like you can see that she does sort of have this sort of sad pause as she passes by the empty double bed, which is neatly made and doesn't look like it's been slept in for a while. As she walks over to the smaller singular bed, where she goes and grabs a pillow and a blanket and comes over and she takes it out and puts it on what kind of looks like a sun lounger outside. And so she just sort of puts it there for you, and like she awkwardly looks around, tries to grab a table, and basically just doing a lot of fidgety things of like, should I do this? Should I do this? She like goes to the fireplace and looks at like the carvings. She's like mouse, frog, lion, button. She picks this little green frog and like puts it on the table, and then she sort of scratches her head and she's like, no. She goes and puts it back. She gets a little wooden carved mouse and puts that on the table. She's just, you can tell that she's trying to occupy herself. You're not sure if she's actually doing this for you or for her.
I'm also going to just add, currently as you're up here and looking out, you're in the highest point for miles around. You can entirely see the village. And you can see beyond, like, eventually you just see nothing but the trees beyond on most sides. But indeed, you can see out for quite a wide space. There are no clouds in the sky at night. Just the stars, just a friend.
I think Kika's kind of futzing. I'm just gonna kind of, we're in the kind of outside bit, just kind of, okay, looking at Kika is stressing me out. So I'm gonna look, and the moon is still there, isn't it? It's on its way out, though.
It's more on its way out, but it's not a full moon. It's
still
getting
there,
closer to its weakest point, and then eventually it'll begin going back to its full, and then back out again.
I think Pox just kind of stands there for a second. It's just like, I'm just not gonna look at Kika. Kika's clearly doing something, but I don't know what it is, and it's upsetting me. So I'm just gonna kind of look up and breathe for a minute because it's been a long day. Just awkward.
Yeah, there is the awkward. I think after a while, Kika kind of sees that you are kind of trying to chill and do your own thing, and she just sort of goes, okay. And she kind of looks up at the sky herself, but she's not really looking at the moon. She is more interested in looking at the stars. And you hear her let out a very, very long sigh that probably feels like it's been held up for about, I don't know, 3 years.
That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah, she turns around, and it's much more of a casual pace now, has deflated a little bit. She goes over to the smaller bed, obviously her bed, and reaches down underneath it, and she pulls out a little sort of hand-bound notebook, stops off at one of the desks to grab a pen, and comes and plonks herself down on the floor in the balcony and sits down and just sort of stares up at the sky. And she's not going to hide it from you. If you look over her shoulder, you'll see that this little book seems to be her own personal star chart.
I probably couldn't help with that, could I?
If you want to, it's like a hobby that I used to do with Mom and Dad.
I meant more in the sense you've probably seen more of it than I have.
Oh. Well, yeah.
No, he just comes and sits down. Like, there's a sense in the body language of like accepting that this needs to happen. It just sort of sits down next to you. It's still mostly kind of trained up, like not looking at you. It's a little nervous almost. Okay. Got anything you need to say?
Probably. I don't know. This is hard for me. I don't like whatever you wanna do or be, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. Just a little sad that you thought that you couldn't share it with anyone.
This isn't about me, right? This is about you.
Me?
I think I do this. What do you want?
What?
What do you want?
What you mean? It like in general, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, but I meant about me. But
Well, I don't. Sorry, I don't want anything. I just want you to be a little honest, I guess. I thought we were friends, That's all. And I feel like I've said this before when you just kind of like vanish in the thin air. Like, I get it if you're scared of things. I get scared of things like all the time, constantly. But like when you just run off like that, it scares other people because we care about you, and it kind of makes people feel like maybe you don't care about them sometimes.
it's not that I don't care. The thing that scares me most in this world, and I've seen a lot of bad shit. The thing that scares me most, just poke you in the chest. So, not that I don't care. Though if I'm perfectly honest, I don't really know what that means. It's that don't think you get it, do you? You really don't get it.
I'm sorry if that's the case.
Your fault. Someone should have taught you better.
That's a little unfair.
Maybe.
Can only learn so much.
When people upset you, that means a lot. No? I'm not explaining this well. Okay. So, if you got really angry at somebody, hypothetically, right? What do you think happens to that person when they walk away from that?
I don't know.
Like someone really said something that upset you.
I don't know. I mean, if it's, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of variables in that, but I mean, I don't know if I see. I mean, I can't really think of a time where someone's like really seriously like upset me. Just like, you know, a person passing me in the street or something.
Right. I think that's true of most people.
Probably.
They never encounter that kind of shit?
Probably not. I know that.
You have this little bubble around you of people who want you to live a life painless. That's admirable, I guess. A lot of people get swept up in that kind of thing. A lot of people get kind of brushed out the street so you can walk down nice and easy. It's not just true of you. It's true of when you're lot.
I wonder when you think the change happens.
Wait, which kind of conversation are we having right now?
At what point do you think that heroes stop being people?
Is the secret. I don't believe in heroes.
Good, because that's the thing. They don't actually exist, they're just people.
Yeah, I believe that.
Mom and Dad didn't choose to get sucked into a time lock thing. They didn't choose to have to go and destroy the castle in the sky. They didn't choose to have their home destroyed and taken from one another. Mum didn't choose to get sucked into the astral plane. What do you think that... You think people choose for these things to happen to them? I didn't choose to have my parents taken away from me. But I'm not going to do nothing about it.
I'm not asking you to. In fact, I think you're the good sort, but you have to. You don't have a say. I think that's how it works. You're a good person or whatever, but you have to do good things. Yeah, you don't have to talk to me about having choices taken away from you. You don't have to give me that talk.
And then surely you can understand.
I understand. I just... You got all this... Call it influence. You didn't choose to have. Maybe you don't want it, but you have it. Now it's very important you choose to do with that. Do you know something? If you were in Neverwinter and you called for help, you would get it.
Probably.
Good question. I think sometimes when I'm around you and Widdick, I don't know if you know that. I'm not trying to have a go at you, Kika. I like you. Against my own sense of self-preservation. Should leave. I'm not going to, and I don't know why.
I think it's obvious why, because, you know, you care about us and you care about what we're doing and you think it's the right thing. That's why you want to stay. That's why we're all here. That's why we're together.
Do you enjoy the facade of good people? That is fun.
Why do you think it's a facade? You've done good
It's
things.
for me, not for the rest of you. You're all the real deal, you know.
You've done good things for people on our ways.
But I'm not a good person, Giga.
Why do you think that?
Just not. I'm not made of the same stuff as the rest of you.
It doesn't matter what you're made from. It's what you choose to do that's important. You know? That's what we're trying to teach Lo. He's so concerned about who he is and what he looks like, and we're trying to tell him that it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Who is the whole way down, though? Take away that insecure, sweet facade, and you find another one underneath. It's not the true of me, you know that, right? It's not, It's a gesture to all of, like, the posiness. It's not under here.
You don't want to take it off?
Last time I bought Pox out around one of you, I got put in a dark hole for 5 years. So I would rather not. Honestly.
I'm sorry that happened to you. I can't, you know, justify someone...
You pick your babysitters, I know.
You still need them, that's why.
Don't. You just think you do, because you've always had them. They're also bad people, I want that on the record. Whatever.
You say you were in there for 5 years?
A long time.
Yeah. Especially for us, for me. Cause well, that means I wouldn't have been here if you were in there for 5 years.
Younger than 5 years old? Don't. Tell me that means something different for Aarakocra than it does for people.
Aarakocra have very short lifespans.
Okay. That's what I wanted to hear.
We generally within our first year we learn how to fly. Within our second year we're learning.
Yeah, but you're a kid though.
Yeah. It's probably about the age of I think probably around 4 or so you're considered an adult.
Okay. Considered.
By our standards. You know, I said I can only learn so much because, you know, we learn things quickly because of our shorter lifespan.
Not 5 years quickly.
No, I'm not 5 years old.
How old are you? And look at one hand when you do that.
You're considered an adult around the age of 4. I'm only 3, Posey. I'm only 3.
I don't like your family.
I'm only
kind of fully
3.
stands up and does a little lap for a second.
What do you want from me, Posey? I was on holiday with my mom and dad. I still live with my parents because I'm a child.
They want you to do this. Reluctantly sits back down.
No one's asked me to do this. I want to do this. I have to do this.
I know.
Sildo was basically begging me to go home. I don't want to go home. There's no home there. Mum and Dad aren't there. What am I supposed to do? I can't be at home on my own.
Okay. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Okay. No, do not.
I know that I know that the subject of lifespans amongst some of the races can be confusing.
No. It's not that. Not that. There's a lot of feelings that I have that now seem very not fair.
Just because I'm 3, I try to learn more. As I say, generally we can learn faster because of such a...
Right.
You
should be learning.
Aarakocra can learn to speak within a couple of months.
Yeah. I'm not upset. I'm upset because I was holding things against you because you didn't know them.
Well, now you know why I don't know them.
Okay.
I've not had the time to learn everything yet.
Learn anything. Okay.
You know, sometimes time gets a little wobbly when you go through different planes, which, you know, we've done quite a few times, but, you know, Mum and Dad know people, and Mum herself is really strong, so a lot of stuff like that kind of often gets negated, really. So, I mean, I guess 3 is probably a close estimate, but yeah, 3 is...
Or negotiating for small differences that are already too small to matter with me.
That's why, you know, stars. Location and time.
It's appropriate, I suppose. I'll give you in one exchange. I'll point up at the moon. That one... my friend. The only friend I've ever had. I don't really know. I suppose it's not your typical sort of friendship, shall we say.
You think that bothers me?
Know how to...
people?
No. I don't know how to do this. I want to stick around, but I also am aware that I've already just upset a whole bunch of people. I want to stick around, but I'm aware that the longer I do so, the more danger I put everyone in. I don't want to start a fight between you and your family. That's the last thing I want to do. Especially now. Family don't like me, Kika.
It's only because they
I
don't.
think given
they
enough
don't
time. I think given enough time, you'll come around to their opinion.
You shouldn't talk yourself down like that. It sounds like the person you're trying to convince is yourself. You're trying to convince yourself that you're a bad person.
It's kind of a indisputable truth.
I'm disputing it.
Kid, Kika. I do like you, though.
Thank you. I like you too.
Because you might have to stick around for a bit longer, and I don't know how I feel about her, but she's here for now.
That's up to you.
It's not. Further away from Neverwinter, maybe Pox will be around more, but I don't really want Pox to be around more.
Why?
Person, remember?
What did they do that was so bad? That you hate them so much? That you think everybody hates them so much?
Almost had it. It's not that I think that. It's just been decided.
But why?
Fuck if I know. I'm gonna get some sleep, Kika.
By yourself this time? She looks at she's giving a pointed look at the moon.
Oh, that one's always with me.
That's not what I was referring to.
Posey, Kika, what's your passive perception?
Kika is the odd one out in all of my OC. She's not very perceptive. Only 10.
So only Poe. Okay. Fuzzy, as you guys have had this conversation, as you kind of like want to stand up to get ready.
I didn't make a perception check before we started talking about this. Carry on.
Made an insight check though. You can just notice that it's almost like this is one of the very few times the moon has not interjected while you've been talking with someone. And you guys look around the little couch and the sitting area you are, and at about a 15-foot radius, you can just see a circle of white around you guys. And you can just faintly smell burning. But it's not like of charcoal or of wood, but it's as if a magic something is affecting something else, and you can just hear it. That's coming from further along the balcony, and you just look at the very edge on the inside of the barrier. There's half of a cut off finger that is about.
I draw my crossbow.
That is about 2 foot long, black and gnarled, with a sharp nail, another 6 inches or so long.
Why no? This is like a Fae thing.
I'm just gonna say make a straight intelligence check, I would say.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's tracking. That's not this. Oh no, wait, hang on.
I'm actually gonna give you advantage on it. I'll explain why at the roll.
I have advantage on int checks to record information about Fae anyway.
You're okay. Roll away then with advantage anyway.
That's a weird ability for warlocks.
Shut up!
That out.
I sat on that for 2 hours. Yep, feels right.
You're trying to remember, and you're thinking about creatures. You're trying to think about things, and you remember back to a conversation you had when you first really escaped, and asked the moon, "Could the moon
that's
ever
a sentence
really?"
you can just say. Sorry, carry on. I forgot. That's a sentence you can just say.
Yeah. Where you asked the moon what it could protect you from, and the moon said, "Can't really affect much, but things that aren't meant to be on the material plane, really. Things that I'd be close to." And you can both feel not like a foreboding presence, but like there's a strain, like you can tell like the effort as if someone was next to you straining on a spell. It's as if the moon has just made a circle around you guys, and it's just focusing on it.
Look up and just go, oh, what is happening? Can you see that I can't?
Get off the roof. Get off the roof. Get off.
Can you come with me?
As Kika stands up, so there's something that you've never seen happens, which is, great to happen at the moment, is, as she stands up and starts to panic, for a brief moment, it looks like part of, like, a silhouette that's like a double of her sort of briefly comes away and then shrinks down and shapes as this tiny little star dragon just sort of bamps out and perches, like, on her shoulder. And it's not tiny, it's like, pretty
large dog.
It's like big dog size, so it's, it actually sort of weighs her down as it kind of bamps out on top of her shoulders. And she also looks rather shocked by it.
As Pox is kind of motioning for you to come inside with her, that's actually a good idea. It only lasts a minute. I could mirror image.
You just hear a small scratching against wood, and you can actually see that finger is trying to move towards you.
Oh, fuck.
Now we're moving inside.
You can now hear just the sound of against like the top of tiles, just a scratching. Okay, that's Armor Vagathis.
Armor Vagathis. I'm gonna shoot the finger with my crossbow. No extra shit put on it, but I'm just gonna shoot it.
Take the shot.
Sharpshooter because fuck it.
Fuck that finger.
About what time is it at this point?
Right? It's like late night.
It's late, and Runara and Lo, about the same time, you're in the kitchen, looking at foods, talking, bantering. Puck is there in full standing form and just has their hands on either shoulders. You just begin hearing almost like someone who can't really breathe is just beginning to hyperventilate, and you can just see Puck begin shriveling almost to their smaller form and just falls down onto a countertop and is going grey.
Oh, on the record, this wasn't me.
And it wasn't me.
What's going on?
I think we need to move. We need to move.
Run.
We need to move. We
Run,
need to
run,
move.
run.
We need to move.
Just like can't properly breathe it, but is saying run.
Is he shrinking down to normal size? Like...
He is down to his normal size. He's fallen on top of the countertop, a la Tinker Bell.
Come on, go.
And this is not a
go.
Low, grab
long
him.
period thing. This is a
Right, boom, it's gone. Okay. I will start. Run to where? We're in the kitchen downstairs, right?
Yeah.
You said.
Have we got the mana map?
Oh yeah, if you don't mind. I will start sprinting from where I am out into the main hallway.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna also probably hear the commotion. I'm gonna also run into the.
You guys are in the tavern still.
I
Like
mean, you're at the
Oh, well,
tavern.
we're down at the
you
tavern.
guys are at the tavern.
That's why I was asking what time is it, because
Yeah, you
more
guys
than
haven't
likely I'm
been back
dragging
yet.
you back by this point.
Yeah, I'm probably.
You
like...
could be. I'll say you could be dragging back the squad as the one person who could. King is over your shoulder like a sack of potatoes.
I feel like I'm just like I'm being dragged by my foot across the ground. Like my arms are like above me, and it's just like a pull across the ground. Like.
So yeah, you guys. I'm gonna say you guys are like maybe 6 minutes out, kind of thing. You have to get up there, and you don't really know anything's going on, so you're at a pace. You're at a walk.
6 minutes in D&D combat time. That's a TP game.
It's 100 turns.
100 turns. It's not gonna take 100 turns to go up them stairs.
60 turns.
No,
It's
but
not gonna take
from
100
the
turns
center,
from
the center of town up
It's
to there, it's
it's
a bit of a
100
walk.
Oh, from
Well,
town.
just
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. I thought you were talking about the
Center
people
of
in the
town to the
kitchen.
manor.
Yeah, I thought you were talking
No,
about
yeah,
the
because
kitchen.
So
me and him are literally coming from
I would
town.
like to ask everyone
then-
who's in
Oh no.
the manor to tell me what you're doing right.
Okay. Yeah, I'm running
And
into the
roll
main
initiative.
hall.
That's what I was waiting for.
I know. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
I'm gonna
Well,
lead. I'm
hold
gonna
on.
lead. Sweep the feet.
Dash, on the map, which one is the kitchen? Is it this one, bottom left?
Hang on a sec, kids, because
What's
I'm
it?
still on the actual Fandolin now.
Oh, okay, tell it. 'Cause-
Bottom left, yes. Bottom left.
Okay. I'll be like.
Actually,
Can
I
you
was
remove
gonna
my
say the
token,
one
by the way?
that. No, you guys aren't. Your league's out. You're fine. Don't worry about it.
No, I mean like we just need to. Should we just put our tokens at the bottom then? No.
Yeah.
I'll
yeah,
be
I'm gonna
smashing
say
open the door and running
Varys
out.
is in the manor, I think, still.
Yeah, he's probably doing his own thing. Like,
Hmm.
I can't remember what.
Oh, hey, Varys.
Yes.
Several of your detection spells on top of the manor just went ding for aberrations.
Oh, the best kind of creature.
I love aberrations.
I love aberrations.
Where the fuck is Varys' character sheet? Oh shit.
Don't worry.
No, it's not there. No. There it is.
So
Copy
you
of
guys are
Varys.
running down into the manor. You two are running out. Runara is holding Puck at this moment. You guys move.
Oh,
Scrap.
what I was
Man.
going to say was,
Yeah, you can do that now.
Lo was trying to push Runara to go, and Lo would be staying behind specifically to sort of go. I don't want
This
to
was
leave
less of a thing of Puck saying like one of you run. this was someone being strangled by an anaconda telling you to flee with their last breath kind of energy.
Varus knows, or Simulacrum Varus knows basically that who went out of the manor and who stayed in the manor, right?
Correct. Yeah, you saw everyone leave. And of them, you know they're going to the tavern primarily. You know who came back, and you know that Wittig can't be drunk.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Okay, Simulacrum Varus will use a 4th level spell slot to cast Sending to Wittig. It will say aberrations in the manor, get back now.
Concise.
Garm! Boom!
It's literally gonna go. 2 seconds.
Check your phone. You get your WhatsApp notification from your boss.
Just the it's just
And
the
then-
GPS
At
thing.
midnight.
Just like this is how far out I am.
The fucking whistle. Place on there. Place there. Yeah.
Smack that ass, and with all your movement speed. You haven't flown yet today.
Again, that is them two going via Garm. My ass is going.
So, Carp, who is just like half drunk with you guys, kind of just clings onto the back of the dog, like, this is gonna be fun. And you just begin straight off with your fly speed. You guys are running down the stairs. As you guys get down to the bottom of the stairs, Lo and Renar are just getting out. And as you guys are talking and trying to like have this conversation, like wondering what's going on, like there's a kind of panic amongst you. Actually, I'll put you guys on this map as well because it's only fair. Actually, no, you guys are over here on the far side, aren't you? Yoink.
I'm assuming I'm just skirting round the corner into the
Whoa.
main hallway where we are.
No, no, my recent uploads, go away.
Ah,
Well, where are we moving? Because we're on the second floor.
No, I was gonna say, are you guys running down all the way, or are you only going to the second floor?
Are we? I don't know.
I'm asking you two.
Kels, what are we
Alright,
doing? Are we gonna stay, or
Um,
two of us are kind of
think-
together?
if I hear commotion, like I would definitely like get you inside.
Hmm.
If I hear commotion from inside, can I make a perception check to see if this is an external threat coming in or whether it's something on the inside coming out?
Make a perception check, yeah.
Runara would form a liturgy of voice to everyone in the manor, telling everyone to come downstairs now, get into the main hall.
Well, you heard that.
As an 8 anyway, so yeah.
You heard that for free.
Yeah, I'll just go to Kika and be like, go to Renar, and I'm gonna be like a little bit behind Kika, but just doing like making sure nothing's following us in, basically.
Oh, I'll leave you behind.
I'm right behind you.
Okay. And I make sure that for whatever it does, but Kika just sort of automatically makes sure that she actually properly shuts the door. She doesn't know if it's going to do anything, but she doesn't know what magic is in effect, so she shuts the door properly, the glass outer door, and the bedroom door, I suppose.
So, as you guys everyone moves into the like main hallway. The eventually having been barred back, ogre begins stumbling back over to yourselves as well.
A very drunk ogre.
A very drunk ogre, which is probably more dangerous.
I'm just gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna activate my Crimson Right. Just putting that out there.
That's fine.
That's how long it lasts.
By the way, when you're here, Poe, you are back to because the effect.
Am I in?
No, the effect was taken off. Sorry, the effect was disabled temporarily by Varus, so never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, I tried that.
But I will be posy if I can help it.
That's fine. You're posed. No.
Does Varus know how many triggers, how many beings have entered the manor? Like, enters?
Individuals not entered the manor. You got 3 pings from the roof.
3 pings.
From-
3 separate.
3 separate pings, as in, one was larger than the other 2. But
He knows the aberrations. Carry on.
you hear, in your mind, your patron can protect her forever. Next time, I'm taking the Archon. Sleep tight, moon child. And you just hear a crack from the roof, from like the kind of like glass point at the top of like where it is, and something just begins falling. And as something's beginning to fall, you can just see that a moonbeam kind of just pulse through, and portions of the glass at the top, like where the stairway is, like there's a glass point at the highest point. There's like a dart almost of just shoot of light, and whatever it was, puffs into a pink smoke 20 foot above you guys and does not fall. Varys, the pings dissipate from the area as if they've left. But they did not move off. It's like they just
went.
Gone.
Shit. Okay.
Kind of make eye contact with whoever's down here. Who is down here with us?
Runara, Lo, Varys, and God.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna go check the roof, but I don't think anyone should come with me.
No.
You shouldn't go alone.
Oh, I can be invisible and very still.
I will do. Like, as I'm flying up, we'll be checking the roof as I'm.
Widdick, what you see is a hooded figure with these kind of like dark purplish red robes with these kind of like white designs down, dropping something in through the roof. You can see behind them, more or less hunched behind what would have been the Arakakra hut, more or less at the top, a large, like tall, muscular red figure with no hair, skin almost like red as flesh, and almost gyrating in that same way. And you see another figure just behind them holding some type of like a grayish figure with like tattered gray and green about them. And then you see two very small figures. That makes 5. Which are like these like very thin gray figures. They clock you in the sky.
I got you, Moonbeam.
Sure.
You
not
have
quite-
that, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I do.
Sure
I do
does.
now. I'm a walker, motherfucker. I'm walking with bitches. Ooh.
Get out the house! Wham!
Elves hides.
Say, so go right ahead and cast
Keep
Moonbeam. And they're not all in the same area. So I will say you would be able to hit the hooded figure or the 4. And yes, Kay, I am aware that the math doesn't line up with your detection comparatively.
No.
Just saying in case anyone asks.
For reference, Varys is running to Kika's side.
And you're there. Like, it doesn't take... You're fast, motherfucker, like your owner.
Yeah. So cast at a second level.
Who are you aiming at? Are you aiming at the one individual by themselves or the 4?
Because it's only a 5-foot radius. Oh, so it would be 10 foot
That's
around.
10 foot basically, yeah.
Okay.
You're like hitting a block, you know what I mean? Like you're hitting like 9 spaces because you're hitting 1 and you're hitting the 5 that are around it. Or the, you know what I mean? The 5 that are around it, which is...
I will go for the group.
Okay. That's a difference. Okay. Coolaboola. Let me see.
Yeah.
Right. You know how I kept saying, guys, I needed to have stuff prepared?
You're fine.
I'm relate.
I forgot to prepare these motherfuckers.
I've never prepared anything in my life, and I've done okay.
We're nearly 2 hours into the game, and I just realised I forgot to take notes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
let's see.
important stuff happening, and I haven't written anything down.
That's only for
I
psychic
actually
damage.
have, so.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch my own VOD.
Never mind, that's fine for him. And that one. Ooh, no, he has good. So, firstly him. No, that's, what's your DC?
14.
Oh, he actually fails. No, one succeeds. That's one of the smallies. That's a 2 for the other. Motherfucker. If he doesn't fail, he deserves to get hit.
The monster goes me.
Me. What was your damage?
13.
Okay.
Radiant.
As the light gets bloomed up, you can just see two of them. The spear, like kind of like holding one. You realize one hand is holding what looks like a barbed spear, but it goes down and it's fused to the other arm. Is the spear. The big thing looks as if you peeled off all the stone off of the beast you fought outside Neverwinter Harbor.
Okay.
And the two small ones, what was that? 13. One of them seems to take reasonable damage. The other two, it hurts them, but not in a way that would be considerable. One of the small ones gets very badly wounded. The figure that sees you up, like the hooded figure,
Real quick. Are any of them shape changers?
No.
Or have the? Okay. I just wanted to be sure. Because if they have the ability to shape change, technically they have to do it at a disadvantage.
They would. I'm just checking. I have to check because it's fair. But these guys are kind of.
Unfortunately, think I know what this is.
No.
Unfortunately, they're always this awful.
No, they don't.
I just want to be sure.
But the figure that sees you, the hooded one, you just see that out of nowhere they just pull out a staff, and you can just see it's not held in a hand. It's just part, like as if the staff itself is not a staff, it is flesh that mounds up to like a ball of spikes at the top, and they just look towards you, and I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
From the lobby, you said it was glass. Like, can Varus see?
You can just see a figure doing something, aiming out at this moment. Because you heard a boom. You all know that's a moonbeam.
How high is it?
About 40 maybe.
40
foot.
Make eye contact with Varus. We have the same idea.
Just Poe and Varus work together.
It's really me making eye contact with Kay.
Okay, yeah, so because of my aura protection, I get a +3 to this.
Nice.
Because it's a saving throw.
Yes.
Hold on. Can Varus tell that this person's casting a spell?
You know they're doing something. You do not know if it's magic. They're holding out a staff. They're doing the typical wizardy woobity boppity.
Varus will cast counter spell at 5th level.
Okay, it does nothing.
Okay, and you said wisdom?
Wisdom saving throw.
Alright. So that is a 16.
That is still a fail.
Okay. However, real quick, is this
I need the other dice.
acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage?
No.
The damage.
The wisdom save ain't damage, mate.
No, it's damage.
Sometimes it can be.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's gonna be psychic.
It's
then,
sometimes
probably.
damage and.
Yeah.
Wisdom saves normally like charms, but psychic damage is fun.
I'm gonna make some
Ooh, those last two kind of paid in. So, you take 40 points of psychic damage.
40 points, okay.
40 points of psychic. And as you're in the air, you just get immediately pulled, yanked. But then a portal opens up in front of you. And a portal opens up directly above all of you. And Wittig slams right down into the top of all of you. So I'm going to say that's going to probably be only Varus and Poe, potentially, because you guys are there. But
Varus is like in the center. Poe's at the edge where she is now. Yeah.
I need you both to make dexterity saving throws for this, please. Because you are having a Warforged yeeted at you.
Varus get advantage on these? I don't think he does.
Nope.
Ah, shit, he would have blade stronged. But I didn't say
but
it.
You didn't. Okay, so Poe, you
that's
take.
The GM, but
yeah, that's fine. Poe, you take 10 damage, or no, you take 9, and
sorry, that's a reference. The GM one is Varus.
Varus.
I'm assuming you
Varus
can tell by the
succeeds.
number.
Yes, yeah. Varus succeeds and Poe succeeds. So you both take 9 damage, and Runara takes 19 points of psychic damage as she is slammed in. Yes.
Wait, hold on. So Varus takes 9.
Yes.
And how much does Runara take?
19.
19.
Yeah, not 91 or 90.
No, I'm making sure. Which damage type do you say for psychic?
Psychic.
Oh, I've got every hit points. Hold on. I don't know where I got these from, but I'll take them off first.
You drank that feast. You drank the ale.
Ah, the Bugmans.
I'm so glad I put Bugmans in this game. What's up, Poe, you motherfucker? What are you doing? What are you looking at, you problem maker?
I'm being good.
Oh.
Melee attack. Fine. My armor went.
Okay.
My armor of Agathis, but only if you get hit with a melee attack. I thought I was about to hurt Widdick.
No, you
Is it
weren't.
a melee attack? If a Warforged gets spammed into you, is that a melee attack?
And as you guys look up, this figure, basically, like, you're all piled down. This figure is there. And you can just see worms moving from underneath the mask, or like what you would equate to worms. They just raise up a finger from the other hand of the staff and just... they're all gone.
Any of them that I saw, any amount, do I recognize anything about them?
Nope.
And I definitely haven't heard that voice before.
You definitely have not heard that voice before.
Can Varus and or Runara make any checks? Can you tell me?
Varus can make a history check. Varus is the only person here who can make one.
23.
Varus. The creatures that you only saw one, but there's kind of like undulating entity with things moving beneath a mask and a helm, or like underneath a hood, with a hand. Things like that are fused to things as well. They're not of a plane, but technically they are. Something of the astral. There is a colloquial term used for creatures that are described from these areas. Starspawn.
I knew something for once.
Same.
If they came for someone, ain't good, Chief.
I can assume they're after Kika, right? Based on
This will
what
not be
they
the
are.
first time somebody has come after Kika, but
Okay.
it's the first time someone from the Astral Sea has.
But would Varus assume that C was the target, or is it too hard to say?
Make a.
I'm about
You
to
have
tell
no idea.
you, so...
I was gonna say you're gonna know in a
Give
second.
me like
so
10
I'm gonna say hold
seconds.
off. I'm gonna say hold off on that.
Just kind of put the hand up and is like, "We good? Those of us that are more observant than me."
Varus, now they're gone.
They've left.
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Okay, so look directly at Varus. Can they tell me what an Archon is?
Do I know what an Archon is?
Yes, because Kika's one.
Yeah, you see Kika's head turn round.
You also know Legacy would be counted as one.
Why do you know about Archons?
What you know about Archons, Varus, because you would just know, because this is one of the things that an Archmagus Invocatus would learn of as one of the SAT members of the council. Archons are people who, when trained in the right way, can break the rules of spells. You're very familiar with how something like this works, because you know what the wish spell can do. If trained, manipulated, or turned in the right way, Archons of certain powers could potentially, if they have the right experience, perform spells from anything. But they'd have to be taught. And you know that Legacy was taught by her father and was hunted multiple times. Because if you can get an Archon, you can get someone who can make a giant iron fire giant statue.
Zoltar.
It's Zoltar, yeah.
And you know Kika is one. It's why a lot of people have been disintegrated or finger of death.
Archons are.
I won't put my hand up. I won't put my hand up here real quick, just because it's been so many months. To remind everybody, I will say that Kika has heard this word be used to describe her, but she also doesn't know what it means.
She knows she's described as an Archon.
She has been described as an Archon, and that literally happened about 2 days ago.
But never by her family.
It wasn't by her family.
Never by someone in a conversation.
Yeah, so before you say something, Kika Tech doesn't know this.
Okay. Suppose you asked me. Okay. Archons are very special. How do you know what about them? Sorry, they're not what?
Varys is not the deception part. Okay.
Especially not simulacrum.
Just tell her what it is. Just tell her what it is, please.
They are very special.
Not the flower. This is not the time for flower. Just tell the.
It's not safe here. Where is everyone?
At this point, there is Garm essentially outside the door with several drunks on Garm's back. Widdick is at your feet with a Widdick-sized hole in the ground.
Widdick, you alive?
Fine. Touch myself, heal 35.
Ow.
It's fine. Oh god.
Where are the drunks?
The drunks are stumbling in. Serenus, you're with the drunks.
Rolling that with no further explanation needed.
Cool.
Right, am I aware of anything that's going on?
You're aware. Widdick is in the floor. There is a Widdick hole in the floor. Varys, who you know is someone of relative importance, is ushering you all in. And Carp has magically seemed to have sobered up because he grabbed onto the back of Garm's tail, and he seems to magically right now just be sober and going, "Oh, what's going on?"
Everyone get... Carp, what are you doing here?
I was with them.
Go home.
Do I need to get the guard or anything?
No, go home. The house will be empty tonight. Go home.
Alright, boss.
How far in is, like, from where I'm standing, the Widdick hole?
The Widdick hole is in the center. You're in the hallway, like, moving your way in. And he kind of, like, just pushes you all in. And kind of, like, closes the door out.
I'm gonna approach the hole then slowly and kind of, like, look into it.
It's about, like, 2 or 3 foot, like, embedded, which even by itself is impressive. The tiles are fucked.
Well, now, that's, you alright?
Fine. Perfectly fine.
How do you do
Sure.
that? How do you do that?
It's a pretty...
Sorry?
It kind of looks in the hole a bit more. Pretty deep hole.
I take.
You put Serenus in the hole. Serenus go down the hole.
Is everyone... Oh, carry on, sorry.
No, I was just miming.
Oh, I was going to ask an out-of-character question, so it's fine. Is everyone in the main hallway now?
Everyone is around you right now of the party.
Okay.
And
Gog?
Garm is not, because Garm is, like,
That's fine.
outside the door.
Gog, you're in charge. Keep the place safe. Everyone, come on.
What kind of code is this? What do I need to say if someone asks?
Anyone that tries to enter, you kill them. That's the code.
Gregor code. Got it. Okay.
Code Gregor.
Everyone, come on.
Murder's your first option. You're not good at much else.
I'll grab Kika's arm, like her wrist, like grabbing her.
Tight
come on.
or like kind of come on,
like
come
enough to be like come.
The way you grab a kid to go this way.
Everyone, hold on, come on.
When you grab her wrist, the little dragon that is sat on her shoulders sort of rears up a little bit, and its mane kind of fluffs a bit, and it actually hisses at you. And Kika looks at it alarmed.
He's not even paying attention to it.
Dude.
Fun fact: she's never been able to do that. She's never been able.
This is new.
Dude, just a tip, ease off, all right? The puppy's mad.
Hold on now.
I'm hearing you. Just the puppy's mad.
I'll just
literally hold on as he begins grabbing people.
I'll grab whoever's next to me with my other hand. I know I need one hand free, so I'll just do.
Widdick just like reaches over, like has a foot on top of Cernus's head.
Oh no, I don't need hands free. I'll grab whoever's next. I'll grab Wittick's like foot before he's on the floor still.
You're good. You're good.
Oh, no, I full pulled myself out.
He goes.
Everyone holding on.
You have everyone with you there right now?
Okay, I'll just give a quick look around, make sure no one's watching.
Make a perception check.
Oh fuck.
I do divine sense.
What does divine sense work for?
Everything.
Beings undead.
Not aberrations.
We looked this up like 20 minutes ago, Das.
I'm asking him just so that because I don't know with the Watchers if they have.
Oh wait, actually, yeah, because
Do you mean detect good and evil potentially?
Hold on.
Detect good and evil without trigger posy.
It will, yeah.
Deal with the new changes.
This is why we looked up divine sense earlier.
Because we were like,
How fucked am I?
No, yeah, that's what I was looking at. Never mind.
Y'all good, buddy?
Yeah, never mind.
Cool,
Change my.
You don't see anything.
Oh, fuck that you rolled though. Fuck you, man.
You know that there's nothing in the vicinity because you would be detecting.
I will cast teleport. Teleporting the 7 of them and me is 8 creatures, including myself. I think, or it's myself and 8 winning creatures.
Yeah, I'm gonna count your familiars as part of you.
Yeah, I'll.
Thank you.
I'll teleport all 8 of us to. Oh fuck. Where would I think is the safest place right now?
She's very upset. She's very upset. She's in the naughty corner.
Is there a teleport circle in Neverwinter? There is in Neverwinter Keep, isn't there?
There was one in Neverwinter Keep, but there is one in Neverwinter's teleportation area.
Okay. I'm going to. Well, do I know the one in Neverwinter Keep's gone?
You know that a place got blown up, so if you tried it, you know it would fail, and you would not waste the spell if you're aiming at a place that there's no sender to. You know.
Okay.
You have to ping across.
Then I'd go to the teleportation place, but I'm teleporting to Neverwinter.
I was gonna say, would you go to Moongleam Tower potentially?
Where is Moongleam Tower right now?
That's in Silvery Moon, isn't it?
Wait, it changes.
Neverland.
Oh right, it moves.
No,
primarily, it's near. It's primarily not Neverland. It's primarily in the Astral.
No,
yeah,
I
Everland is one of the entrances.
What I think is the safest place, so it would not be the Astral Sea right now. So it would be wherever Legacy is, which would be Neverwinter.
Which would be Neverwinter.
I'm taking this to Neverwinter.
She's very upset.
Sound that your familiar makes.
She's in the naughty corner and she's expressing her disapproval. I'm sorry.
On the collar, stay here. Bye.
All at once, you cast the spell, and vroom, everyone at once. There's that flash. There's that as if you're going over a bump or like a really like emphasized bridge of it. Whoa, in your stomach, and your feet touch down in Neverwinter.
I formally request a 5-minute break.
Sure.
Because I actually don't know how bad I need the toilet right now.
Off we go.
I'll be right back.
Right, we'll be right back, guys. Bye.
Da, 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 da. let's begin again.
Hang on.
We're back!
Welcome back. We might have a sneezy frog, we'll see. They're a new variant of sand frog. Anyway, you guys have landed back in to Neverwinter, and Serenus, you've not really experienced much teleportation. It sobers you to that I'm just sober enough now, but I know how much I drank, and now I'm annoyed that I'm sober again, kind of way.
What is going on?
So you just have enough sobriety now to go, ow.
I feel like he gets on his knee, like falls down his knees, then onto his hands, and kind of like throws up a little bit on the floor, just like, oh god, what happened? What? Somebody explain what just happened.
Be back in Neverwinter again.
We are.
That, my friend, was the teleportation.
Can I ask why?
How far are we from?
You're about 20-30 minutes from the keep. There is guards here present, and there is someone who keeps a tab of who's come in and out. Like they literally have to write it down. There's like a night shift person there who's reading a copy of a book, and feet propped up, kind of like slashed it down. This kind of dark-skinned undercut elf with like a topped over hair. Oh, hello?
Yeah, out of curiosity, how do they react when they see Varus?
They all just go, wait. Sir?
Unhelpfully points back.
Where have you been?
You never saw us. Keep our names off of the log.
Just see like the pencil flips and just starts rubbing.
We were never here. Do you understand?
And one of the older guards just goes, "Yes, sir."
Okay.
The kid, the younger one, looks confused, like it's Varus. Just accept it.
I'll just start walking towards
This
the
could be
doors.
Varus from like 6 years ago, who showed up now and is going to come back in like 5 years again, and you can't tell because he's an elf. Just leave him.
I've let go of Wittek, but Kika's still. I'm still holding Kika, and I'm just walking out.
I will say this only because he's telling me to do it. Lo is basically giving the only way I can describe it is like a cat sulk, and it's behind Varus, directed towards Varus. As Varus is holding Kika's hand, it's more a thing of, you hurt her. But his face cannot handle being that angry, so it's just coming out as a sulk.
It is a grumpy puppy in the way of, like, you could tell they're not happy, but they're fucking cute.
But
anyway.
also he's holding Puck like this.
Puck, by the way, just goes.
Yeah, he's basically being very protective of older brother right now.
Puck is basically more or less hyperventilating back in air, it seems like.
Before we step out of the door, Varus is gonna polymorph himself to just look like a random fucking dude.
My name's Gareth.
He's gonna look like Nesno.
Does it say a random dude walking with all of us?
He's gonna polymorph himself. He's gonna polymorph himself into Nesno.
Okay.
I hate that I'm doing that, but he's done it.
Yep, just like you can just see that the polymorph comes over, and Nesnar is there at front, holding Kika, and moves.
Immediately go invisible, but I'm following.
You're with them still? Okay.
Kika turns and looks when you do so.
Kika, come on.
Put it together.
And I'm going as quick as I can, like fast paced to the key.
Yeah, you guys book it. You're all there moving together. King is.
I can go rooftops and follow. I will, so I can see if anything's following.
Sure. Make a it won't take long for you to get up and follow them. You've done this.
I can burn a misty step if I need.
If you want to, certainly, but it wouldn't take long for you to get up.
Okay, I'll leave it. Yeah.
And make a perception check from the high point. Different DC because you're at a high ground. There are people who are very confused that. Like there's people who are like seeing you all move, and it's very late at night. A lot of people just saw you leave, but also knows the kind of station some of you are in. There are guards who, begin. There's like what you notice as well, and I'm going to say this: out of like every like small group of guards, like as they're moving about, and they're moving through like several sections of the city, at very fast pace. There's several sets of guards moving around, but there's always, at like either at a junction, like at like a cross point or whatever, there's always two figures in black who look to each other and look to Nezanar, who kind of just passes them and moves, and they wait until everyone has moved and they begin following, but less like a waiting for opportunity and much more like a forming a barrier or a bubble kind of thing. Eventually,
do I know enough to know that these are people that work for Nezanar?
You know enough to know that these are people that Nezanar has probably trained. And if Nezanar is doing something like this open, something is going on, and they're not physically going to show themselves, but more or less they're out like a net. And if they catch something, they catch something, or if they get hit, they get hit.
And I will. I don't like this because it's giving up my advantage, but it's what X would do. I will get off the roof and go back into the group so that they don't catch me separately.
Fair. You jump, over you go. Are you still invisible?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
I am not going to be visible if Nezanar is leading this group.
Widdick.
I'm going to cast See Invisibility.
You see Poe.
2, I'm going to message and go, see anything?
We've got something of an entourage. I'm assuming these are the spiders people.
Yes. Because I would figure I would know that.
You know, like, even if you don't like know them individual, you are aware of Nezanar silhouette. Yeah, you're aware of Nezanar silhouette, and you know people who are very distinctly kitted in something identical to him.
Make a motion again for you to message me. Because I know you can see me. You know what an Archon is.
No. Yeah, because I wouldn't know it at all.
Roman would.
Roman would, but I wouldn't.
But Roman's not here right now.
Next gen, baby!
I say to Widdick. This is about Kika. I say.
As we're charging through Never and Nezanar said I turn to the group. Can any of you send a message?
By message, do you mean sending or message?
Sending.
No.
Okay. I don't want to RP between myself, but Brunora's going to put a hand up and be like, oh, I can.
No, by all means, roleplay between yourself.
I'm not gonna
lie.
I'm not RPing between myself.
Letting you play Varys was the best decision I've ever made.
I'm not RPing between myself, but basically Varys will tell Brunora to alert Legacy that they will be at the keep in the next 20 minutes.
I was going to say that Lo does no message, but he is in such a bad mood with Varys right now that it would just be
interestingly. King doesn't have sending steps either, because King would have begun to go, "Hey, fancy bitch, we're coming."
I'm just I'm just saying the reason.
Yeah,
that...
you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You're good.
What Varys is going to tell Runara is to let us know on our way, let them know that Archon is in danger. What Runara is going to send in the message is, hey, Legacy, I'm sorry for sleeping.
Jesus H. Christ.
We're here with Varys, and there's not. I don't know who they are. The Archon's in danger? I don't know what an Archon is. And the message bloody cuts off there. I don't know how many letters, how many words it was.
I don't know what an Archon is, and this whole night's just been kind of really going.
Walking, you can just see that like fire begins like about 10 foot away from you guys, just from like 5 foot up, just slits and spreads. And Varys, you keep walking because you know what that is. That is a gate spell, and you guys enter into the castle.
Someone's feeling spicy with their ninth levels today.
There's a reason.
I wish I had one right now, but I don't.
Suck my dick.
Eat it, clone.
Silence, clone.
The clone has not many spell slots left, guys. For reference.
Yeah, that's why I love having the simulacrum run. It's like, yeah, use it. You'll be able to use it.
Yeah. That's why I'm just like,
I'll
use it. Yeah, and it's almost run out. It has 1, 2, 3. There's 4 spell slots left.
Open it. You find yourselves in what is a very large room, with a 4-post bed, with a curtain draped across it, like closed across it. Sildar is sat in a chair next to you guys. There are 2 of his guard with him, his 2 elite. Legacy is in the room as well, and she is horns and frilled out and everything. Looks, sees you all, acknowledges even the people who are invisible, the people who are shape changed, what they actually are, and pulls in all of you. Looks at Varys for just a second. Simulacrum, okay. I was about to shout at you.
Yeah, once the gate's closed, I'll drop my polymorph and I'll be Varys again.
And you're back. What happened?
I will explain what I saw.
Go on, Varys would let Wittig speak.
Doing the Final Fantasy thing of just.
But no, because there was a lot to take in at all one time. But yeah, because it was a figure in red robes with white markings. There was a purple one, 2 smaller ones, and then a gigantic red ass fucking thing.
Yeah, there's the red and purple one hooded. There's a grey and green figure. Then the 2 smaller figures that are thin and grey. One of them had the weird spear that was fused to them.
Yeah.
I don't say, Wittig says.
Yeah.
This is the benefit of the
The exposition, yes.
And of course, no.
That's what the stars actually sound like, guys. But psionically, they sound brooding and menacing.
Oh god, I'm doing Animal Crossing of the party.
I'm assuming after Wittig gives the explanation, there's a look of recognition in, I'm assuming, in Legacy's face.
Lexi recognizes everything that's happening right now.
In the message, I'm just going to say the one star spawn to Legacy, just in the message.
Okay, so I drop invisibility. So when are we going to start actually talking about this? Or is this going to be a whole thing where the people who know keep making knowing eye contact?
I'm trying to process and think right now as to the why and the who. But you're right.
I'm only getting touchy about this because my friend is putting themselves on the line right now to protect Kika, and I would like to know why.
I don't think I've met your friend, but I'll have to thank them at some point.
We were stupid to think she'd be safe.
Sildar gets up and just like puts a chair behind Kika, and Legacy just like motions for her to sit down. This is going to be an unfortunate talk that we wanted to wait till you were at least an adult to have.
Lo will sidle up to the back of the chair and just sort of does the, still with the grumpy puppy face, but it's more he's there trying to be good, protective older brother.
I feel so mean to say this, but unfortunately you do get a dragon hissing at you.
You get two dragons hissing at you because Kayak is right behind her, hands on either side of her shoulder.
Does Kayak know? Would Varys know that Kayak knows what an Archon is?
Kayak, this is all new information to him.
Okay, just from what Varys knows, that's fine.
Lo will be visibly frightened.
It's one of those things of like trying to move in, and that bird turns its head, but you're fully aware that's a dragon looking at you, and you kind of stop.
Suddenly aware of how much bigger he is.
Yeah, he'll stop, but he's just sort of.
Like...
It's the thing of that. I need to do it. I've got to do it. so it's more the case of you'll stop, but it's sort of a.
You have the urge of like, I want to do it, but like everyone's aware, so.
Yeah.
Legacy kind of like crouches, looking like sits down, like almost like kind of sat on her like thighs, kind of thing. Kind of. I'm not explaining it right, but when someone sits, but they're kind of like slash squatting almost, but not quite slash squatting.
Before Legacy speaks to Varys, Simulacrum Varys would intercede and be like, speaking to Legacy, be like, Milady, Kirok would 100% want to be here for this conversation. Are you sure this is the right time? She specifically said,
You don't do this now, someone else is going to decide for you.
If I don't do this now, she's not going to know how to keep herself safe. Kika, love.
what's yours?
She'll understand why I did it. She'll be angry, but she'll understand why I did it. How many times have you heard the word Archon used?
Well, before, like, everybody started using it, like, 10 minutes ago, once.
Who said it to you that time?
Kika can't help but glance over at Posey.
I go invisible.
She's got true sight on. She sees you, bitch.
But I don't know that.
I mean, she's looking you in the eyes.
Yeah. Well, because Kika sees this, she's immediately
reluctantly uninvisible.
Because Kika sees this, she immediately is like, it wasn't Posey. It was Posey's friend, the one who was helping.
I'm gonna have to ask about that friend in a little bit.
It's like Kika goes to say something, but then sort of takes a step back when she's like, "It's not my place to say."
There's an acknowledgement that you're holding. We'll talk about that later. Listen, there are currently 3 Archons that are known to be alive in Faerun and active. I'm one of them. The Lady of Waterdeep is another. Your mother is the closest to an Archon that's not been an Archon, because a test needed to be done to see if she could perform a magic that she had no knowledge of prior. Reading its symbols in a book and performing it at hand. Archons can do that very easily. Your godmother taught you a lot of this through nursery rhymes and small images, little practice things, and a lot of the magic you can do is because of that, because you were shown in that way. But we did it in this way so that Archons can if an Archon does not know how to use a magic, and they get put into a point of a lot of stress, or under a lot of duress and danger, without having a care with them, or a friend who, you always have that feeling, that urge that you've got someone who's right there, got your back. If you don't have that, the magic within you might have a reaction by itself, based on your emotion and what you might want. You might have a bunch of people moving around you, and a magic erupts out, similar to a thunder wave, and blow everyone back. But it could be incredibly disruptive and kill people. You could wish that no one sees you and turn so invisible even a dragon of ancient proportions could not look at you and know you're there. Archons can make magic affect the world in a major way. A major way. So, we all had an agreement. Your mother, me, your godmother, and your friends and people who care about you. That we were going to wait until you were an adult, tell you this, and let you choose what you wanted to do. If you wanted to train it, to learn it, if you wanted to, because you can't hide it, you can learn to control it, put it away, not use it. But it depended on what you wanted to do as an adult. So we had to make sure that certain people either did not know you had the power, which is why a lot of people would consider Auntie your patron. But she isn't. You have magic that's related to her because you've been around her. Illusionary magic, smaller effects, but most of your magic you draw from yourself. It's just that you've been shown how to draw it in a certain way that it's limited until you learned how to, or choose to learn how to do more of it. Explored it, learned, studied, practiced, and you'd be able to do with it what you wanted. I did not know what an Archon was. My father certainly didn't teach me until I stormed into the ninth lair myself and demanded an answer. But that was after a lifetime of being hunted when I didn't understand why I was being hunted, being manipulated by men when I didn't understand why they were manipulating me, when I thought they were just my friends, being used. We didn't want you to have that, and we wanted you to be able to choose when you were an adult, make a choice, make a decision, and we would respect it when you were. Because nobody should have this put on them, but if people are hunting you because of it now, you needed to know. And she just reaches out, trying to extend to take your hands, try to cup underneath your hands kind of thing, if you let her.
I'm sure some people are spotting the trend now. Kika doesn't mind, but her new companion seems to mind.
Yep. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, this isn't something we can take away from someone. It can't be plucked, or it can't be put in a box, kept in a corner, and when you're ready, opened up if you wanted to. It's part of who you are. But we wanted you to at least have a proper childhood. An Archon can... One of the most dangerous people who was once considered an Archon once did something so bad it caused a plague on spells in the world itself. So it's one of those things that you've always been talented with it. You've always had a knack for magic, but we wanted to wait to teach you. You've had some of the most bizarre friends in crazy times. That's what an Archon is. An Archon is someone who can look at what the gods themselves of magic wrote in as the hard set points, and be it because of their parentage, because of effects on them as a child, things that influence them, can break rules that were never meant to be broken. And you just see as she just like extends out a hand, and you can just see for a moment as she just focuses. I'm going to make Legacy do an Arcana check. 12 plus 8. She just focuses for a moment, and she just manifests out a small crystal. Just plucked from the ether of magic, like she just condensed the weave in the room onto this point. You can make magic something that can be used by anyone at a later date. I could give this to someone who's never had a talent for magic, and they just think on what they think the spell is and aim it, and this is a polymorph I put in this. Something akin to a polymorph, but it can only turn people into penguins. But anyone who uses it, turns and aims it at someone, tries to focus its magic, it will use all of my difficulties. It'll be as if I cast the spell myself, but I will not concentrate on it. I will not be focused on it. That's one of the ways I've used this. People once tried to use my powers to make something that would cause such destruction in Faerun it's not been seen since the last time the Tarrasque awoke. You can be angry at me if you want. You can be angry at all of us if you want. But know that we did this from a place of love. I'll make an insight check. You.
Right, because I'm the one suspicious and
Yeah.
just like
You're the one
to do
looking.
it. Don't like these people.
Bless you, Sildar, but you have a minus
I've only
1 to
got one.
charisma.
I've only got one lucky point.
And
left, so
Kayak
I'm
rolled a 1. So Sildar has a minus 1 to charisma, and Kayak rolled a 1.
Give me the gossip.
Sildar did not know this. This is all new information to him. Kayak
Doesn't necessarily surprise me.
looks like he's fit to burst.
You're pissed.
He looks infuriated.
Poe's also pissed. I should put that on the record.
Yeah,
I'm
but,
like angry.
But it's all here. It's in the neck. It's in the face. It's in like the way that the beats kind of like tightened around. But the hands that are on Kiko's shoulder are the gentlest you've ever seen.
I'm gonna make. Am I invisible? No, I gave up on that.
You gave up on that.
I'm gonna make like just eye contact with Kaok just so that he knows that I'm in the same boat. That
He
I
just
am
does
also
one
pissed.
slow nod at you.
It's like just the mutual acknowledgement of like you're not the only one who's turning into a boiling pot in this room.
Low.
At this point, literally boils.
There's just like a whistle in the corner as the vent kind of gets opened.
Low is seething as well, but it's that kind of. If he was a cat, there would be that very deep growl at the moment.
From the squeak of Wittig, though, it will be a thing of then. Right. Okay, so you say you were doing this to protect her. Fool. All right, that's fine. But when the Gith and Vlakith attacked us, blew fucking Neverwinter up, that doesn't mean she gets a normal fucking childhood anymore. If you're now going and saying, oh, hey, go do this, go help this, that doesn't, she needs to know going out in that fucking field with us, and this, that she needs to know that she's gonna be fucking hunted. You lose that ability to say, oh yes, we'll give you a normal childhood, when her parents are gone, the main protectors are gone, and we may or may not have the power to stop what comes for her. This is a conversation, albeit a promise that has been made, all right, but it is a conversation that should have been long had.
As is smiling right now, Legacy can't make eye contact with you, Wittick.
I was just smiling.
Oh, fucking kind of now turning the pipe down a little bit.
Steam dial.
Shut up. Yeah. Shit.
Geek is like in shock, but I want you to know that my heart is so full. Oh, no!
Get him!
Wittick!
Lo is both seething at Varys as well for hurting Bluebird, but he's also seething just for, no, I am responsible for Bluebird too, but also seething at the whole situation as well.
Wittick, Sildar's kind of like, just behind Legacy at like the left-hand side. A single nod.
Buddy, this is why I got the sword. Ah, fucking.
Like eye contact alliance happening right now between like the 4 people in the room who agree.
What kind of bullshit is this?
What fuckery is afoot?
Yeah.
Legacy's looks up at you, looks around at all of you. This was never my conversation to have. I had hoped your godmother would have had this conversation with you by now, because if your parents weren't around, she was meant to be the next person. But if none of them have had it, then I'm going to have had it. I assure you, I pissed off people much more than any of you I pissed off right now, because I've stepped in where, by all the agreements, it was not meant to have been had. But given that she's wilting, she's probably not been able to talk with you. It is never the same group that ever come by. When I was threatened, when I was young, it was, let's be sincere, the worst I ever had was a fiendish attempt, but it was a low threat. By all accounts, Wittick could probably handle it by himself at this stage. Never mind if all of you had been present at a thing. And as hard as it is for me to say, not because of anything else, but because I'm me, you are right. This conversation should have been had. I had hoped it had been had by her, but she hasn't had it, so I'm having it. Be angry at me, all of you. You can be. I don't blame you. I understand it, because I've been in her seat. This is not fair. Learning what to do with this is something which you can't just read a book on. You need people with magic around you to help you. So we'd always hoped a summer with what would be a summer for her, in that it would only be a few months, but in the Feywild it could have been years of practice she could have had, but she would not have aged a day. Back out to here, only been a summer away. But all that went down the drain. I can try to show you something very simple. Very simple, for the point of making it difficult for you to be spotted, if you'd like. She kind of just like lifts up your hands, and she just begins making, and I'm going to have to go to push to talk for this for just a sec because I'm doing hand motions. Hand motions! Like lifts up your hands and like with her fingers just begins doing like this kind of pose, and then just begins pulling them in, and pre-snaps from this finger to this finger to this finger, and in that moment, you people who can look around, Widdick, you still have see invisibility on because it lasts for a little bit.
It lasts an hour.
Kika disappears for you. But everyone else who is seeing her normally can't see her. What it seems like, and as she begins explaining, the weave gravitates towards Archons, like whirlpools that are pulling in water, or paths for electricity along metal, or water down a river, in that it goes through what is the easiest drawing pull to it. What I've done is I've, aside from making it so that if you do this, it lets you glamour yourself, essentially. You can't be seen by anything trying to detect you with magic. But if you do it, you won't be able to do anything else like that for the day. It's one of those, you're limiting what can flow to you for the point of your magic. You still are able to function normally, but you're hiding. It's not out of the realms of possibility that Archons can conjure, pull things from one location to another, but the more magically powerful the thing you're trying to pull, the more effort it takes for you, and the more wide a space you need so that nothing you care about gets damaged while you do it. It can be very difficult and very risky. And that's when you're pulling something from only a few miles away, or if you're in a place of really dense magic, trying to pull something from anywhere on the plane. Mark down that you can, once per day, use the action Glamour.
Yay, you've unlocked glamour plates!
Finally! Kika's level 15, guys.
Thanks, I hate it.
Put that thing back where I came from, Russell, help me.
I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of flavor text, so I'll just leave that for when we finish for the evening.
Just mark down, prevents detection and viewing via magic. As simple as that is to say, that is literal. If something attempts to see you via scrying, via if they, for example, scry someone else nearby you, you appear blank. It is literally a "you can't see me, bitch." But it's always that. Yeah. That's what I can give you for now. Yes.
While this conversation is happening, can I mentally reach the moon at all?
You focus for a moment.
I understand that I can't see the moon right now, so that's...
Yeah, you're just like trying to
that's
open up your mind more.
Seeing.
And you can just like, you hear a cold breath to you, of just like, as if a cold breath just like rang down the back of your neck of, oh, thank God. Oh, thank me. Okay.
That was going to vastly change how I was going to respond to the rest of the scene. Thank you.
You're alive. Oh, you're alive.
And thanks to you.
Oh, you're alive.
It is, but I'm in a dicey situation, but thank you.
I'm not meant to be able to do that. I may or may not have rolled a very, very low number on a D100.
You can have divine intervention as a treat.
But the divine entity decides when they intervene.
Oof.
Okay, that's fine. If I wasn't going to get a response, that would have changed how I responded to the rest of this. So.
You haven't even been gone long enough. I'm spent a bit for the day, but if you want, I can try to teleport you tomorrow, relatively close to where you want to go, potentially.
Well, thank you for suggesting that, because I was going to do that, but I brought them here.
I was about to smack you because I thought it was the actual Varus who's pulled some shenanigans.
Oh, I wish I was the actual Varus.
And if you could actually cast that spell, you could actually be the actual Varus.
No, I mean, I can. I've never made a simulacrum of a simulacrum before. I don't know what's possible.
Why did you put the idea into Varys' head?
Technically, Varus simulacrum has it prepared because Varus had it prepared when he was made, and he has a spell slot that he can cast it. But it would be a copy of the simulacrum who has no spell slots left, so it would be.
This is where it goes down.
Yeah.
This is why you take a fighter, and you make simulacrums of them. Because they don't need spell slots, they just hit shit.
I'll put that in Varys' head as your local party fighter, please do not. I did
It's
it.
almost like that was a tragic backstory that you guys saw, and it was like, wow, that's fucked up, we should never do that.
I'm just saying, I just
Tion
don't want
is
it to
not
be
here,
like
guys. That doesn't mean we can just
get...
talk about him.
I just don't want it to be a thing of like, yes, the real Varys is back. Oh, there's 20 clones. I want to kick the shit out of them. Fuck.
It's just.
This is Doctor Strange, and
just like a fucking
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is what's happening.
That or fucking Meeseeks. Well, he created me, and he created me.
I think this is the reason the spell does say somewhere that you can only make one. I think it does say that.
Yeah.
No,
each person can only make one. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But anyway.
So, stay for the night.
Yes.
I don't bother hiding mine. I'm a daughter of Asmodeus. If someone wants to try and fight me, they can. But they want me, they'll only come for me.
Well, luckily for you, Legacy, you don't have to hide what you are because you've trained enough. You know how to defend yourself. Unfortunately, the youngling here doesn't.
You didn't say Starspawn out loud, did you?
No. I said it in a message to
Legacy.
the Queen.
Yeah, so Legacy knows the Starspawn are after her. I know you can't, but like, this is as close to an assassination I've actually had in a long time, okay? Like, this is just a character assassination, so. What am I even doing?
In general, or?
Yes.
Maybe crisis later, but what do we practically do? What can we honor? Because we can't just. Kika still has to live her life. So what do we expect? What are we looking for?
There's many threats to an Archon.
The Fae won't touch her. not when an actual Archfey is attached to her, because you aren't Kika. I'm going to make that very clear. You aren't her property, but they see you as her property. So an assault on you is an assault on her, and she can take her entire force on them as a result. They play with that dirty word. They play with those dirty suggestions because that's how the Fae work. They see it as possessions, things that they take when it comes to mortals. You are her goddaughter, and she loves you.
It's easier to explain the fronts where Kika does have problems than she doesn't. I understand that Kika's protected by the Fae. You are related to the Hells. I understand that. Where are the problems?
If a Celestial wanted to, a Celestial could try. But Celestials would have to find somewhere in their morals where they could justify it. And by the time a Celestial has come to that decision, Kika's probably going to be in her late 20s. So we don't have to worry about that.
Might be covered by me and mine on that one.
I have questions anyway.
Real quick, I'm gonna do a little prayer and go. How do we feel about Archons?
Just gonna ask.
We cool? Hey,
Make a religion check.
How does the Society of Supreme Law feel about?
How does Law feel about the chaotic things of Archons?
Make a religion check with it.
Bend the laws of spellcraft.
Just a little.
Just the spell plague. Just bend it a little bit.
The spell plague wasn't that bad, was it?
What if it's like 3?
I'm sure.
Like 8 Archons.
I'm
They
sure
couldn't
the
make
spell
it.
plague had
You
no
tried.
lasting repercussions.
None. No gods were killed. No Tarasques were awoken. It's fine.
No spell levels
Widdick,
were limited.
I'm sure that would be a.
roll made me laugh so much that I didn't even get my good joke out.
John, try
Made
and
me laugh
squeeze it
so
out
much I
now.
can't
Wait.
even remember it.
Charles, you had a good joke
I had one good joke and it's gone because that
Well-
natural one was hilarious.
once every blue moon.
Not even that.
So, Widdick, you try to, and I'm just gonna say that you have enough things here drowning out your connection right now. You ain't reaching shit, fam. You ain't reaching for a sandwich on the table.
Gotcha.
Serenus.
Would I be able to have any knowledge on from my times studying and stuff like that? The master, would I have read any books or had any knowledge to add to the pile of information?
I'm going to say, because essentially how many people are interacting right now between Poe, between Varus and Legacy, there's enough
Got
points
a
of
well of interdimensional knowledge at this time.
at present they're the people with the most right now, and what you would know would be the Fae, which was just covered.
Okay.
To give you an idea, it would be like learning about the Illuminati in the 1800s, where it's like you find one book in a corner tucked away, and you're like, the fuck? And like you'd have to spend your life traveling to try and find it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I get that.
Deliberately, not much information on.
We do know they're after our cheese.
Well, the
No,
Illuminati
I
cannot have cheese.
Cannot have
Exactly.
the secrets of cheese.
Except cheese make.
So dumb.
So
Chaos.
demons are not the hells, and if one were to try to be crafty enough, it would involve them getting brought over to try and attack her. But they have to be brought. People from the main interior planes, shall we call them, have to be brought. So someone would have to bring them over to try and go for her. There's enough chaos there that if someone tried to, they wouldn't really be. It'd be obvious something was going on. Never mind the intention being just to go and try and find someone. Posey, you look like you had a question, gamer. Okay. Law needs chaos. Without chaos, there is no law. There's no comparison. Thing about things like entities of the astral is that there's group names for them, but that does not mean that they are of a group. You could say that Mind Flayers are a group, an association. You could say that Githyanki and Gitzerai are. But there are groups and entities, they're colloquially called it because that's where they're from. They're spawned from these places, so that's how they're addressed. But the individual motives and concept of one group could be very different to another. Could be very different to another again. Having someone like Wittick is actually going to be very helpful given his developed aptitude presently for when things aren't meant to be where they are, they can be expunged. It's kind of where you're falling into right now, Wittick, isn't it?
Wait till I get banishment.
Roman just possessed you for a second there. Roman banishing that one fucking whatchamacallit in the seat of the Allfather.
The Remoraz.
Oh,
The
God, the
Remoraz.
fucking Remoraz.
I know. Get the fuck out.
When I had to deal with that fight lately, I literally looked at it and I was like, why do I have next to no memory of this encounter? We must have done it. Oh, wait. Right, it got cut short for some reason.
And then
my ass
Harshnag got a
Yeah,
potion of
fuck
fire
this.
resistance. He's frost resistant already. Went back, waited for it to be unbanished, and had
Yeah.
dinner for all the time you guys were gone.
No, as we all know, Neren's goal is to just get banishment on every character he plays, regardless of class.
Like,
I
get it
mean,
on
it's just
the
a
tip,
great
Aaron.
spell.
It's a solid spell.
It's a good
Can't fault
spell,
him.
man. I've been tempted by it.
I'd recommend it. Anyway, for no reason.
Like, I should just make a commercial for banishment. Just like, you having problems with hell spawns,
Encounters.
demons, celestials? Get yourself a damn banishment here. Hey,
Hang
come
on,
on.
hang on.
Make
Is
yourself a
this-
can of
is this
banishment
the-
It's
spray.
just- it's
bang,
just-
bang,
This is
and
either,
defeat
this
the
is
job.
either the flex tape
I was gonna say, this is just flex tape! It's just Nerowin, any encounter, banishment!
You know the refrigerator
Come
meme.
on.
You know the refrigerator meme guy, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
I love
banishment.
banishment.
No, I'm thinking of the car sounds, but this banishment could fit so many things.
Narrowing casting banishment on a fight. To show you the power of banishment, I cut this combat in half.
Here's one I made earlier.
Okay,
Anyway.
back in the room.
Yeah. Anyway,
I
sorry.
fucking love you guys, but anyway.
That's your demon's astral things. Just trying to think of any other plane that Kika doesn't have friends in.
I mean, do I have to get out the wheel again? The amount of times I have to get that wheel
No.
out.
Limbo. People of Limbo.
Yeah. There's kind of threats could be anywhere. Honestly, they could be anywhere. It's a matter of have they got the ability to find out this is an Archon, which not many people would have.
At present, if she does this as a thing, this glamour I showed her, someone would have to be next to her to know she's one.
All our enemies in this respect would have to be intelligent spellcasters, probably.
Yes.
Yes, you know, like higher, like lich level sort of. You know,
Okay.
like lich queens and you know things like that. You've not met any of them or dealt with any of them.
Should hope not.
If she wanted her, she would have taken her.
So
She
I don't
doesn't
think she
want
knows.
her.
Or she doesn't know.
She doesn't know yet.
She would. We were all in the same place
She
in
must know.
Neverwinter. She saw everyone there. She saw 3 Archons, 2 of which were charging her. If she wanted to take Hika or me or the lady, she would have. She didn't want our chaos brought into it.
She didn't. Answer the question of what she wanted then.
Me. And you just hear from the bed where the drapes are pulled across. And you just hear like movement in the bed, and the drake gets pulled back, and you can just see one of the two sons sat there. She wanted the princess, and that's where we're going to leave the session.
Hey. What's the name?
And yeah, just before we do, I know there was a desire for a one-on-one here, Kay.
Oh, it'll happen next week. The where we are, there's we need to be out of where we are.
You're good. Okay,
Yeah.
just checking. And that's where we're going to leave the session.
D&D.
So, Blue, to let you know for fun, if you've ever seen a spell that's of a level you can cast or lower that you wanted to try, make an Arcana check.
What the fuck?
I said what I said.
Special. You knew that.
Really, Blue, you're going to tell me that someone who has Auntie as a godmother, who's the child of Kika,
Kirok,
you
the wild
fuck
magic.
off.
Kirok, the level 20 wild magic sorcerer. I am familiar.
Yeah.
So
Take all that.
who's
put
had
it in
two
a ball.
archmages next to them 90% of their life.
Tell me that's not going to be a special child.
I mean, that's special. I didn't plan this.
I did.
Yeah, everybody.
It's like-
We'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Ah!